Hi, morning. I look awful. I'm just from waking up, as you can see, and I feel I've I've neglected posting. Not on purpose though. There's been a lot going on, so I figured I would leave something. But it's random. I know. Today is a Sunday morning. Yes, and ever since my my discovery of what I discovered, I find no point in congregating anymore. Well, not with the likes of what is around me, especially here in the village, because then I'll be sitting through a lie. So what's the point of me going? If everything that's being said is what I do not believe, then it's pointless. Not to say that I would never go to church. I would, if I would find like-minded people. Get this, I'm not saying if I find people that don't sin. I mean if I find like-minded people who are led or taught rather by someone who acknowledges that they're just that, a teacher, not a father, not a mother, but just a teacher. We all have one father, but we can have several teachers, I guess. Now this one time I was at a certain church and they performed a miracle for someone, some lady, and she was a visitor. And I remember before she was prayed for, they were like, I'm seeing financial breakthrough, and as I pray for you to unlock those doors, your tithe, bring it here before I pray for you. And I was like, how has it even gotten to tithe before you've prayed? Is that like your commission? Your 10% per miracle, per member, per month. Fish, guys. We need to wake up. It's hard for me as well because I've believed in such things and I have believed they are normal for practically all my adult life, all my childhood since 2005. I've believed in seed offerings. I've believed in clay pots breaking. Okay, maybe for unbelievers who just seek the help of deliverance or healing or whatever, or prophecy and whatever. But then, I mean, for those of us who are in Christ, there is no condemnation and there is no jurisdiction for the enemy to do anything to us. He only continues to do all sorts of shit to us because we don't know that he has no right. The contract written with the new blood, the new covenant, the terms and conditions stipulate that we are redeemed and he has no jurisdiction, no power over us. It's like the Old Testament when Adam and Eve sinned. The only way sin could be appeased per se was the slaughter of an animal by the chief priest in the Holy of Holies. And mind you, even the chief priest himself was human, meaning he himself as well would sin. Imagine the irony. And that was hard. Imagine for each sin you commit, you'd have to produce an animal. And there was an essence to that. God wanted to show us that our own attempts and strides at holiness are very futile and silly. It's a lot of work for you to try to be self-righteous. That's one thing God was also trying to show us. So when he brought us Christ to die, he was like, here you go, a lifetime sacrifice, blood that speaks even beyond ages and millenniums. And so when you sign the new contract, which is accepting Christ, accepting that blood he shed for you, you terminate the old contract and it's null and void, meaning all the terms and conditions of the old contract, the old covenant, are invalid. So now, who are you to tell me about seed and activating altars and whatnot? The only altar is the one in my heart where I invited Christ to reside. That is it. I do not need to go to church to access some altar because that's where my seed is. I alone am a church on my own, but I go to church to fellowship and to strengthen my fellow believers and to share in whatever we are facing and whatever we are going through in order to empower one another. I mean, it's at the point it's irritating where not everyone will see things the way you see them. Okay, I'm not trying to brainwash anyone, but honestly, if you have a mind of your own, stop being sheep. Question things. I had questions for a really long time, but I guess they were choked back by what I had been taught growing up, where you'd ask very deep questions, and elderly people in the Lord would say, yeah, those questions that you're starting to ask, you're better off not knowing. God is too sovereign. Stay in your lane. You will sin if your mind wanders. Don't be like that. Find out. There is an answer to every question we ask. There could be several answers, but there is no wrong in finding out. Do not be comfortable with ignorance. Anyone can party on your head. I've had enough. Yeah, several friends who are worried about this new me, this new venture. But I'm tired. What can I say? I'm tired of all the propaganda. And I'm finding out the truth, and I think there's no wrong in me trying to do that. And if you'd rather carry on with that as your reality, be my guest. There's nothing wrong with that either. I just appeal to any of you who are in the slightest bit inquisitive to sit down for a minute and rethink some of these things. Next time I come, I will have a sermon, not just a talk. Bye. You'll be late for church.